What's going on, everyone? So we are 3 weeks away from the trade deadline on February 6th. And I imagine a few things. One, you're probably going to hear a bunch of news and a bunch of real ramp-ups, particularly probably a week and a half from now. I think you're really going to hear like all these explosions of not just the Lakers, but various teams, period, right? You already every day get, dozen reports about most of the teams in the league and all these teams trying to do this and that and the other, right? But obviously, this is a Laker channel, so I want to kind of focus on the Lakers here. If you want other teams and stuff like that, check out As It Stands Sports, where I talk about all the other teams. But getting into like the Lakers and stuff, right? Obviously, a trade could come any day. There's a very real possibility that something gets done, right? You saw the Lakers bring in Jamison. We'll see if that is the center acquisition that the Lakers made, which I've talked about. Did a whole breakdown of it. I don't really hate the idea of him kind of being your backup center, especially once you get to the playoffs. You're just looking for a guy to come in and play 8 to 10 minutes anyway. Right? Anthony Davis is probably playing 40 minutes a game at the center spot anyway, so I don't think it would be that big of a deal, but I would like kind of more of a more proven center to be in the backup role. But we'll see as Jamison continues to progress and with the team and stuff, if maybe he's able to work it out and figure it out, and maybe he can be that piece. I mean, 6'11", 270, right? Big, physical, strong, athletic. I mean, he fits the prototype to a T of what the Lakers need. But it's just like, what else? I'd prefer, another center that can maybe potentially help the Lakers. But as far as like trades in the trade market and stuff go, there are a million options out there. There are a million different scenarios, and we get this piece and that piece and this piece and that piece. And obviously, I'll continue to talk about various teams and news that Lakers are linked to, and we'll discuss it and have the little breakdowns and stuff. But I really want, again, the Lakers to focus out on the perimeter, right? And of course, I want to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions down in the comments of like, what do you want to see them do between now and the trade deadline? But for me, I really want to see them focus on the perimeter, get a point of attack guard, again, whether it's a Bruce Brown, a Lonzo Ball, a Malcolm Brogdon, something along those lines. I'd love to see that. Ideally, I'd like to kind of get a backup center, but again, I'm okay with kind of giving Jamison some opportunity and seeing if he can maybe fit that role, fill that role better than like a Hayes and Koloko, right? I even did a video breaking down Jamison and Sharp, Day'Ron Sharp. So check out that video if you kind of want the comparisons. Although I would, and I even said in that video, I would prefer Sharp if like all things were equal, but is it better to just kind of run Jamison if he's able to provide the role and then save those assets that you'd give up for Day'Ron and use those assets to go get another piece, right? There's several guys on the market. I mean, from real impact guys like a Nikola Vucevic that you could have for 2 seconds, right? Would you rather just go that role and then, let Day'Ron stay in New York, bring in a Vu, and then have Jamison be your second, your third center, I guess, technically, because Anthony Davis slide in the center spot? Would you do something like that and then go pull off a move for a Bruce Brown? Or maybe you're getting Lonzo and a Nikola Vucevic, just pull them both off at the same time. Chicago is a team that has several key needs, like positions of need and stuff. Like, in a perfect world, I'd like to see the Lakers just kind of everything in one swoop trade, right? Like a Chicago, sticking with Chicago, right? Instead of going and getting like, Torrey Craig, and then go get a Bruce Brown, and then go get a Josh Green, and then go get I'd rather just like, hey, let's just focus on one team, bring in a Lonzo, a Nikola Vucevic, and then a Torrey Craig or something like that. Or I wouldn't hate a Vu, Io, Craig, and like a Smith, something like that, right? Like, can you get like 3-4 pieces from a team like Chicago or, a Utah or, like instead of trying to piece things together, plus it's just easier and you might not have to give up as many assets in a singular trade where you're going to have to give up assets to get this guy and then you have to give up assets to get this guy, right? And Lakers right now, they have the 2 firsts, but none of the, like, who's on the market that's worth 2 firsts or just first period? Like, even guys like Brandon Ingram shouldn't take a first to get. Zach LaVine shouldn't take a first to get. Right? Like, even like the higher name guys shouldn't take a first to get. So the Lakers have 2 seconds, right, to likely get one guy, and then they have 3, I think it's 3 pick swaps that they could use to go and swap. So like maybe you're doing something where you're giving a pick swap and a couple seconds to go get like 4 or 5 guys or 3 to 4 guys from like a Chicago, right? And then you still have your first for the offseason. You still have all this flexibility. You still can do and make multiple moves. Judging on the information that we have that continuously sees these cycles, right? I try to look at, because obviously I'm talking about various different reports all over the place, and these reports are usually all over the place. One guy says one thing, another guy says another thing, another guy says another thing. But I try to find like what are the consensus areas? What are the general thoughts that all kind of align? And it's most of the trades that the Lakers are trying to acquire are all guys that have expiring deals or have flexibility. Like even Dorian Finney-Smith can opt out. You can give him a new contract, but clear off, $3-4 million off your books, right? You could give him a 4-year, $48 million, and so you cleared $3 million, or you could even backload the contract if you wanted to clear extra cap off your thing and clear, $6 million off your books for him. LeBron James can take, whatever, 20, 30 million off of his if he wanted to, if you could get the right pieces. So to me, it kind of feels like, in a lot of ways, the Lakers are kind of setting up for the setup, right? Like, if that makes sense, where they're like, hey, let's go get a Bruce Brown, and then we can kind of reconfigure everybody, and then go, Miles Turner's a free agent. Maybe we bring in a Miles Turner. Now you got like a Bruce Brown, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Miles Turner, right? Like, and then now you're a contending team. Now you're really pushing for championships, right? Like, that's kind of what it feels like in a lot of ways. If the moves are there and you can get them done, I think you should do it now and then add those other pieces. Because if you can win a championship now, again, you still have flexibility on several guys, but you also have LeBron James. I mean, LeBron James could play for a vet minimum if he wanted to. I don't think he'd do that. But if you win a championship, right? Let's say the Lakers, just for argument's sake for a moment, right? Let's say the Lakers pull off, Bruce Brown and Nikola Vucevic, right? Boom, add them to the team. Let's say the Lakers win the NBA championship. You don't think LeBron James is going to do everything he can to go and repeat, and now he'd have number 6 if he repeats? Of course he would, right? Like, he absolutely would, right? Because who is he trying to chase still? Jordan, right? So if he can get his 5th ring this year through some, which is why I kind of want to see the Lakers, if they can, kind of push your chips in a little bit. And even if you don't win, but let's say you're close, if LeBron really feels like, hey, we're right there, again, I think LeBron will do what he needs to do in order to try to push you over the top, right? But the window is very limited. The window is very small. You've got maybe 2, if you're lucky, maybe 3 years. I mean, the way LeBron's playing and looking this year, I mean, you could argue you probably got another 5 or 6 years, right? Like, I mean, he said himself he'd probably play another 7, 8 years if he wanted to. But, like, in all honesty, like, I want to see the Lakers prioritize the perimeter. I think that they are right. Again, this is just my opinion. This is why I want yours. But in my opinion, I think the Lakers are correct in the, hey, we need to prioritize the perimeter. It's where the Lakers have the biggest faults, right? Teams are jacking up more threes against the Lakers than anyone else because they know if we make them, they can't defend us out of the perimeter. So if we make them, we're blowing them out. Even if we don't, all we have to do is just chase down the ball, win these 50-50 balls, and we're going up against Gabe Vincent, Rui Hachimura, and Austin Reeves. Like, teams are like salivating at the idea of like, man, I just got to win a foot race or out jump these guys. Like, bet, right? Like, and they're just, it's what's happening, right? But if you can get those pieces necessary out on the perimeter to help chase down those balls, help rebound, help, defend out on the perimeter, it would make the Lakers so much more balanced, so much better. Plus, if you have multiple looks, not just that, but if Austin Reeves really is going to be our 3rd guy going forward, which still have my questions about, but if you're going to do that, you need to have the complementary pieces. So if you believe LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Austin Reeves are good enough as a trio to handle the offensive workload and lead you to a championship, then you need to add the complementary pieces such as a Dorian Finney-Smith. Now, if you can get a Bruce Brown or Alonzo or a Brogdon or something like that to where you have guys that can mask Austin Reeves' defensive limitations, you don't have to switch everything right? Teams right now are just hunting Austin Reeves because Lakers are just switching everything, right? But they have no choice. They have to. They don't have the defensive pieces, right? Like you don't have the things out there. But now if you have those pieces and you have the guys that can fight through screens and fight over the top, or, if they do slip and go under the screen, they still are quick enough and agile enough and long enough to recover and still challenge shots, stuff like that. So Austin Reeves doesn't have to get put on an island defensively every possession, right? Because teams are going to keep hunting that. And so to me, it's like, I think that the Lakers need to prioritize the perimeter. There's several guys out there. Luckily, there's not a huge market for all these like guards that the Lakers are interested in. So I do think the Lakers are probably going to land one of them. I still lean to Bruce Brown's probably the most likely. But again, if you can do that and then go pull off, even if it's not another like big trade, even if it's just like I've talked about, like a Josh Green or can you get an Io, or can you get, maybe you do go get a Kuzma, right? Or can you get an Io and a Torrey Craig or something? I would give up a first at that point, especially if you can get an Io. You're talking 24-year-old combo guard that can just do multiple things on the basketball court. That's what I'd like to see the Lakers do, right? Like find the spots, find the pockets, right? Do what you need to do. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? What do you want to see the Lakers pull off in trades before the trade deadline or at the trade deadline? Are there particular players or things that come to mind that you would like to see the Lakers grab? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.